Honourable Sam George. That was just a lucky guess.
No, the two of you are in cahoots.
Wait,
You knew about this.
No, Sika, how are you able to guess that? I mean, I don't know his number. I didn't even know he was around.
Interesting.
I love that disclaimer. Quickly, very quickly.
Very quickly.
I don't have the number.
I don't have the number. You know? How are you, sir?
Pleasure. Interesting. Giovanni.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's quite close.
Okay,
Honourable, kindly take a seat.
Please have a
Thank you.
seat. Let's just let everything sink in.
I just felt like a lab specimen there.
All the groping and the touching. But round of applause one more time, though, for Honourable Sam George, MP for Ningo Pram Pram. From the corridors of power to the ladies' circle set.
Ooh. To what do we owe this honour?
Well, I was invited and told it's a men's month on Ladies Circle.
That's right.
And I said, okay, interesting. I hope when I walk in here, I'm not going to get overwhelmed and devoured. But I'm here. The lion doesn't fear anything, so.
And the lion is with us. When you're not trying to save the world, one SIM card at a time. What are you up to? I mean, you've been very busy, you know. Parliament is back in session, lots of business to handle. You guys are very busy. Has it just been work all throughout?
What's that? How does the song go? Work.
Work.
Oh, he's a Rihanna fan.
We're going to be learning so much
Anyway,
about Honourable today. But you've been working busy.
Yeah, it's been a busy few months. This year's actually been very busy for me. I've spent the past 8 weeks literally in 6 different countries. So it's been literally back-to-back trips up and down, and basically parliamentary work. We've got quite a few things ongoing. I do a lot in the tech space, and so I've been speaking at a number of international engagements in Malawi, Zambia, Kenya, and then public accounts took me to Liberia last week. We've also had engagements in the US. So it's been up and about, basically around parliamentary work. In between there, we had constituency elections for our constituency executives. We have regional elections and all of that. So it's a busy time. And this meeting of parliament is the budget hearings as well, the budget meeting. And all the drama around whether we'll censure the Minister of Finance or not. And yeah, so it's been all of that. And then in there, you try to make time for family as well.
Amazing stuff. We're finding out more as the show goes on.
Definitely, and I cannot wait. This is still the Ladies Circle, and like we keep mentioning, November is Men's Health Awareness Month. And so we're dedicating the whole of November to our men, and that is why you'll be seeing some special male guests on the show. And today, we're privileged, we are honored to have Honourable Sam George with us, and we'll be getting into how he takes care of himself. But for today, our focus is on testicular and prostate cancer. I mean, as a man, how to take care of, you know, like I mentioned, that special part. Of course, it is very delicate, and so it needs a lot of attention. But a lot of men tend to think that, oh, you do not need any attention. You wait till you feel some pain here and there before you even see a doctor. How do you take very good care of yourself when it comes to self-examination, when it comes to even seeing a doctor regularly or monthly as well, to make sure that everything is in check? Honourable, you were like, what I mentioned. But
like, of all the topics.
I know. But what is your self-examination or even seeing the doctor for regular checkups like? I mean, your overall health, I mean, as a man.
Okay, generally men are very bad when it comes to medical checks and self-examination. I say that we take better care of our vehicles, our cars than our bodies,
yes.
you know? And it's a fight I've had with my wife and my mother, because both of them have always been on my case. Because the slightest sound I hear in my vehicle, and it's off to the mechanics. But most men self-medicate, you know, and abuse medicines because we think we know what it is. You don't want to get pricked and prodded by a doctor, and even when you're hauled to the doctor's room, you want to diagnose yourself for the doctor and tell him this is what's wrong with me. You give me this medicine and let me go. Yeah, but largely that's basically what it is. I have been forced to get into a regime of testing twice a year, and so that's why I said forced. It's not like it's a it's a self-imposed thing. If I don't do it, I get a lot of noise in my ears, noise in quotes.
Noise from?
Yeah, my mother will call me, and by the time I'm hanging, my wife is calling, and they're complaining, and get this checked and get that checked. It's a good thing. At first, I started as once a year, but now I try to do one at the beginning of the year, and then one in July as well. So every 6 months, and it comes with the pressures of the job. I've kept my beard because I want people to see that, Charlie, right now, I did grow, and it's growing faster, and it's the pressure of work. And especially what we do, there's statistics that shows that 60% of people who come into Parliament without any ailment, after 2 terms in the House, either develop a high blood pressure or diabetes, or both, because of the nature of how Parliament is structured. We don't have a restaurant in Parliament, so people get to eat at very wrong times and odd times. You get to sit for very long periods, very little activity in and about what it is. And so thanks to Honourable Zaneto Rawlings, she was one of the key people who pushed the former speaker to ensure that we equipped the parliamentary gym. And so today we have a gym in Parliament where some of us can work out. And at least it helps to keep you a bit active. Once in a while, you're able to swing by the gym and just break sweat there. But outside of that, you realize that there's a lot of pressure, and if you do not check, you get carried away, and before you realize, you have a major crisis on your hand. And so you see MPs developing stroke, you see MPs having high blood pressure and diabetes, and because of eating habits and the culture of our work and the pressure. So it's important. I have had to reluctantly get in there because I know it's good for me. It's just that it's just like the way most men also struggle to buy boxers and socks. If your wife or girlfriend doesn't buy it for you, you won't buy.
That's right.
You go into the shop and buy every other thing, but you forget to buy those things,
Honourable, can I ask for any man that's watching us right now, is it affordable to actually get these tests done so that they're more encouraged to do it more regularly, even if it's once a year, like you said, twice a year?
Well, it depends on where you choose to go. But it's not off the chart. It's not, and the value for me, or the cost of it, and the value to yourself, it's worth it. On the average, I mean, if you went to, and depending on the age range, I mean, we're told that once you cross the 40 range, you need to start having the prostate checked once every year. For many younger than that, they normally don't get the prostate checked, but after 40, you want to do it once a year or twice a year, depending on what the situation and conditions are, and symptoms that you're showing, because at times it gives you pre-warning symptoms that something is developing there. So if you look at it, on average, you would spend anywhere between 200 and 1,000 cedis, depending on what kinds of checks you're doing and which hospitals you're going to, depending on how much or what medication you may have to be put on and all of that. So it's, for me, if you look at how much you spend on servicing your vehicle every 5,000 kilometers, and this is your vehicle, how much you spend on putting it in shape, I think that it's a fair price to pay. But one thing I think that needs to be done is the way we have October's Breast Cancer Month. It may be important that we begin to put men's health on the front burner and have a prostate month, or I mean,
they do exist, Honourable, and I sorry to cut you off. For men, something that happens quite often. For example, when it's Women's Day, you have a lot of men. When is Men's Day? When is our 10? They say Men's Day was actually there before Women's Day, but you guys don't do the investigation. So you have to make your own noise.
I think that men have to be more proactive in
we tend to think that the men don't need it.
Let me tell you something. October, all men look forward to it. Because the advert says that you should mia.
Okay, then I think the advert should change.
No, wait. We look forward to it. So imagine if you also had November as testicular or prostate
then the
month,
women can look forward to it.
And the women should also mia. The men will always remind the women about it.
I think I agree,
But if,
you think that's what it is?
You see, the women's, when you say breast cancer, you say we should help our women examine. Then the men's one, they say we should examine our own.
But when we tell you to check, you say, well, you hear noises in your ear. We are worried. Mom is calling you. Wife is calling you.
Because you say I should go and check. You are not coming to check for me. You get it?
Yeah.
If you said that in November, every woman should check the subtlety of the man, Now you are talking.
Honourable.
Come on top of it. We'll be happy about it.
Wow.
And then there'll be TV adverts about it. The only thing is, I'm wondering what the sign is. You see the way the Women's Month is a ribbon that's curved like 10 like that.
Oh,
I
just
wonder
turn
what
it
the
upside down.
the men will be to be upside down, but
Yeah.
it will be 2 ribbons. I've rolled with boys, but I can't for the life of me think of any conversation I had where I said to him, Charlie, I go peace or with the thing, then them off the shishimi. You know, and you see, look, even when ladies have unprotected sex and there is an STI or you have a UTI, you're able to speak amongst each other and say, I'm having this sensation down there. What you think? And oh, it's this or it's this. See this a gynae. Like the way we say, go and see a gynae if you're a woman and you have a problem down there. What's the name of a doctor that a man is going to go and see?
Go and see your doctor that you trust.
No, you see, we want to have a male gynae. We should also
Honourable.
have a man. You see the way there's a gynae for women. We should also have a field of medicine. And you know the interesting thing? Pap smear. You have the device that they put in there and everything, all the ladies. And I see with how far science has developed. When you're a man, you know the painful thing about going to check your prostate? Going to lie there and butu like a baby. And then they'll put a finger. You see, that's the reason why many men are unable to go for a pap smear. I mean, science must find a way of checking our prostate without having to be so invasive. Because you see, that's the thing about it for men. You know, many men will tell you they go and check their BP and their cholesterol, but they won't do the prostate. It's because of how invasive it feels, you know. But I mean, for now, that's all we have, and it's important that you check it because the dangers of living with prostate cancer and the challenges you face outweigh this once in a year choking.
Trust me. And it's very, very important. So thank you for encouraging our men to go out there and
I'm
get checked.
encouraging you.
Encourage them. Encourage
Just
them.
prepare.
You guys, sometimes you have it easier. I'll give you an analogy. Before the intervention of softer ways to check our cervix, we were being scraped with metal.
Yeah.
You go in there. So you guys can handle this one. Come on.
See,
Come on.
you see, if the thing was just to go in and come out, but it goes in and then it's